Welcome to the Dropship Podcast, where you'll learn how to build and grow a high-ticket dropshipping business and hear stories from successful e-commerce entrepreneurs. Let's kick this thing off. Hey, welcome to the Dropship Podcast. Today, I want to know whether you would trade your Netflix and chill time for an extra $2K a month. And honestly, I'm going to lay out the math for you on how simple this can be. But I think there's probably somebody listening who's like, hell no, I'm not turning off my Netflix and chill time. What about you, John? Would you trade your Netflix and chill time for $2K a month?
Oh, I did a long time ago. And like, I know this was a question people wanted us to answer. Like an average month, I make $50,000 at the moment, right now while I'm standing here. That's what goes into my bank account, not like total business revenue or anything like that. I don't sit around watching Netflix at night, no. So my answer is yes.
That's Australian, folks. So that's like $3,000 US. You can see the boxes behind him. This is John's entire house in the video. Where are you? We should probably address why John is standing in a weird room today.
Yeah, no, I'm just in between houses. I bought a new house very recently at a very short turnaround time. So I moved very quickly after securing that house. And part of that, which I am also moving towards at the same time, is going back into a small warehouse space with a dedicated office, which I haven't been in for, as anybody who's been following along with me for quite some time. I was doing that prior to COVID, but I have been back at home in a home office since COVID, sort of early 2020, and now I'm going back out of the home just because I need to and need more space and all of that sort of thing. So I'm like in between. I couldn't quite line up securing the office and the warehouse space with moving house. So for 2 weeks, I'm actually in a bedroom. Basically, in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm in a bedroom in my new house, which is why I'm in this small boxy looking thing. If you're watching us on video, and I have moving boxes, literally there are nowhere else for these boxes to go. I couldn't put them anywhere else. And so that's the story.
Folks, you're not missing anything. But if you don't see it, go to Spotify, go to YouTube. You can see John's amazing background, professionally done.
Yeah, but once again, I mean, giving up Netflix, where does that get you? I mean, literally, I put up the deposit for this house, which in Australia is 20% of the value of the house for somebody who runs businesses that I do that I needed to put up. I came up with the cash for that from online business in less than 12 months from scratch, right? So ask yourself, like, once again, one of the reasons why I'm able to do that, like going on a bit of a tangent here from out where you launched the show, is literally because I've made sacrifices in my life and focused on building businesses. And I've been doing that for 9 years now, roughly. And that is where I've ended up, is that if I need to come up with $300,000 to put down on something, I can do that very quickly compared to most people. Not because I'm special, not because of anything else. It's literally because I went out, made sacrifices, did the work, did the right work. I've done it for long enough that I can do that sort of thing. So, yeah, going back to your original question, I would trade things like Netflix in a heartbeat to be able to do that. Wouldn't even think about it.
I think too many people who start this process think they need to build $1 million business or this huge business that's going to take up all of their time and all of their bandwidth. And you don't need to, right? And so the title of this was like, will you trade your Netflix time for $2K? For me, it was Call of Duty time. I had to trade my Call of Duty time to build a business, but that's what my first business did. Roughly $2K a month on the3dprinterguy.com. You can go see it on the Wayback Machine if you want to. And to me, that was real life-changing money at the time. I was making, this is pre-COVID, where $20 an hour was pretty good for blue collar. That's what I was making, driving a forklift for a Walmart distribution center. And so, to be able to throw an extra $2K pre-tax into the pile was huge for me. And I genuinely think it's something quite easily accomplishable if you're willing to do the work in high-ticket dropshipping, because it doesn't take that many sales. So I actually pulled up one of my, I don't know, what do I call it? A side business, John. It's kind of a playground, a testing playground for SEO stuff, really. And the numbers here are very close to this 2K mark, and I kind of just wanted to walk through it, right? So, like, I'll give you a great example here. January, we did 12,600 in sales. That's 10 total sales on the business. and the business profited $1,783.97. So almost $1,800 on 10 sales. Do you think it took very long to process 10 orders? No, like the order came in, we smile when you see the Shopify notification on your phone, you shoot an email off to your manufacturer who ships on your behalf, and you pay your credit card bill off a couple days later when the money rolls in. That's as simple as it was. That happened 10 times. Now, obviously, this came with some work of building the website, contacting those suppliers, uploading products, things that we teach in our course that are very simply done. It takes effort. It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple, but you can call these suppliers. You can upload these products. You can run Google ads. In this case, I'm not running any Google ads because I've been suspended for about a year now on this business. And so we only run SEO traffic, which again, we teach very in-depth in Dropship Breakthru. And so, we charge roughly $2,000 for the course at this moment, John. And so a lot of, we get this question a lot too of like, well, can you give me the course for free and I'll pay you back when I make some money? Or why do you charge what you charge for the course? And genuinely, because you can make that every month with not a whole lot of effort, just trading in your couple hours of Netflix time every night and spending that on your business.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you want to, if you're sitting there, we're recording this toward the end of 2023 and we're going into 2024. And if you're like, I want to change things up, I'd love to have an extra $2,000 a month in my pocket. That would make a huge difference for me. 2 hours a day for 30 days, you're going to have that business up and running. That's the average. Like a lot of people ask this, how long does it take people to get things up and running here? It's literally that. It's just 2 hours a day. If you do that consistently for 30 days, you're going to have, in most cases, I mean, there is a little bit of leeway in either direction here, but, on average, you're going to have a high-ticket dropshipping business up and running, and Ben's literally just walked you through 10 sales with high-ticket products can produce, or 12 or 13 or 14 can produce, that amount of profit, $2,000 a month in your pocket, which you can then, add to your life, add to your income and all of that sort of thing. And literally as Ben said, processing those orders, you're literally there talking about maybe 3 or 4 hours time at the most a month to produce that extra profit. So you can do this. It's easily achievable. 2 hours a day on average. Some days you might do more, some days you might do a little bit less, but on average, I challenge, there are not many people who cannot find that in some way. I truly believe that. If you're honest with yourself, and you don't even have to do it forever, if you're honest with yourself, I think you'll end up doing more than that once you get into it. Because if you're anything like me, this once you start making $2,000 a month, you're going to get addicted to that, right? And you're going to be like, oh, holy shit, if I do more, I can get more too, right? And you're probably going to go and do that. That's literally what I did. So I think that's where people will end up. But I would challenge you, find that time. And then if you're sitting there thinking about it, stop making excuses, just go and do it. So, I mean, I've mentioned it quite a few times on this show. I mean, something I used to do pre-business was I'd go out drinking in the evening or, hanging out with guys or, people that really weren't getting me anywhere in life. And I gave that up. I really don't do that anymore, at all. And the difference in giving that sort of thing up, as well as a few other things that weren't really adding much value in my life, is massive. Looking back on it years later, I'm kind of, I wouldn't really say I have regret because I don't really believe in regret, but I kind of wish I gave that up a bit earlier, to be honest. If I could have that time back even earlier, I'd be like, that would be amazing.
It's going to take a different identity, for sure. You're going to have to be a slightly different person. But the reality is the bar is really fucking low here. John and I sell a fair amount of courses, and the amount of people that actually do the work is minuscule. And I hate to say it, all we want is to change lives here, but most people just don't do the work. And so if you just do the work here, I think you can get to this bar pretty easily. And to John's point, you're going to want to do more. And so this is where that business is. This is, running remarketing, has some SEO going for it. That's really about it. There's no Google ads running. There are no email sequences running. There is nothing done to this website that's extraordinary at this point. Could somebody come in here and spend some focus on it and actually grow this thing? Hell yeah. By the way, if that's you, reach out to me, please, because I don't have time to do this. My business partner, who is not working with John and I, by the way. He doesn't have time to do this. And so like, it just kind of sits here and makes a couple grand a month on average. And I think you can have this same sort of thing in your life. It's not that hard to choose the person to whom you're going to sell, find the products you're going to sell them. You can find that at dropshipbreakthru.com/5. And then you need to build your business, which is what our course is. Just build the actual business, find the suppliers, call them, get approved to sell with them, put those products on your website, and start making sales through Google Ads, through SEO, through content marketing, whatever the channel is for you. We would recommend Google Ads in the beginning, obviously. And like, I think you can get to this place without, having to spend the amount of time you think in your head right now that you're going to need to spend. Honestly, like the title of this show, it is your Netflix time. To John's point, 2 hours a day. That's all I had in the beginning. When I built the 3D printer guy, I had 2 hours every day, and that's all I spent. And like 2 hours of focused work is probably all you're getting done in your job too. And just think how much you get done there. Like, you can do this. All I want to do is reach through the screen and shake somebody, John, because their ability to change their lives is so within their grasp. Hey, remember Holly? Yeah, episode 212. From $0 to $500,000 in 5 months. Holly is one of our best students, and you can hop on a call with her right now at dropshipbreakthru.com/call. If you're listening to this, I know you're thinking about starting your own high-ticket dropshipping business, and what better person to speak to than Holly, who is a shining example of what can be done starting your own business. So hop on a call with Holly, see if joining Dropship Breakthru is right for you. dropshipbreakthru.com/call. There's no need to feel hopeless. There's no need to think this is going to be as hard as they think. It's going to take effort. Anything worth having is going to take effort, but it's not that much effort. It really isn't. Like, business isn't that fucking hard. It's just, you need to be consistent and put in the work.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at like, I think the other thing that people find really challenging is like looking at their life and admitting that there are things there that are either not helpful, don't need to be there, or that could change for the better, right? Like, I think it's challenging to do that because it means admitting that you're doing something that's not, changing where you're going. But like, if you're sitting there and you're listening to this and you're dreaming of things being different, like in your life, like whether that's your time, like having more time to do things with your kids, for example, or not having to commute really long hours to go to your job, or having more money at the end of the month left over so you're not living paycheck to paycheck, etc. That bringing that change about can happen, but it actually starts with you. You have to change who you are. Like, you can't just be the same person forever and expect just different results are magically going to happen. Yes, you need to take actions to produce different results, but to be able to consistently take actions over time to drive those results, you also have to become a different person, I believe, right? And so that's certainly what I've done over time. I mean, if you looked at 25-year-old John and compared him to 40-year-old John, you would say I actually don't recognize those two people, aside from the fact that I probably look similar. Like, the life is radically different, And if that didn't happen, then, I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing right now. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't, be like, have the time that I have now available, have the finances that I have now available. I'd probably be okay, but I would be on the same trajectory that I was on. It was actually forcing myself to change what I was doing with myself and who I was and how I went about my life that has led to, as well as implementing the right strategies and tactics and building the right business and running it in the right way. Yes, you've got to do that as well, but you've got to do both of those things to really make big changes in your life. So absolutely. But small steps, right? I mean, it's not like, change. I think for most people, like, just changing one thing that they currently do can give you the time to get a business up and running, to start seeing results. And modest results, as we've said, is that extra $2,000 a month in profit in your pocket, which you can do with very, very modest results, right? And then off the back of that, then you can change it up, do more, change more about yourself. introduce more new things or take things away from your life, and build and build and build. It's not like you have to go from where you're sitting right now listening to this podcast and tomorrow you have to wake up and you're, somebody radically different, right? It's a process. It's a process of steps that you go through. Build on that. So all you need to do right now is just make that first change. Find that thing. Find that extra 2 hours. Even find 1 extra hour. It could even be 1 hour a day if you can do that consistently. Just find that thing, make a commitment, make a change, and start building your business.
That start part is important, right? Like whenever I come up with an idea, I take action on it right away, because as soon as you get the momentum going, you won't stop. So whatever that first action is for you, go to dropshipbreakthru.com/Shopify, sign up and play around. You can get a free trial while you're sitting there. Play around with Shopify. That's a great first step. Start doing some niche or market research. If you need help with that, we've done plenty of episodes on that. If you want us over the shoulder, that's dropshipbreakthru.com/5. In 5 days, you'll know exactly what you're going to sell and who you're going to sell to and know your next steps. If you're ready to just jump in, hop on a call with Holly. You've probably heard her on a recent episode, 5 months to 500K. She's now handling sales calls for us. You can talk to her at dropshipbreakthru.com/call. Hop on her calendar. Tell her you're ready. Tell her your challenges and have her walk you through what your next steps are and get started. Just take action today.
Yeah. I want to call out a quick call out to a special person that listens to our podcast here. It's the person who says to themselves, and it's not actually a person, it's a group of people who says to themselves, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to research this for 3 months and then I'm going to do something. Don't. Researching anything for some long period of time or having this mindset that I've got to know everything about it before I start doing something, it never, ever, ever helps. You are not going to be further ahead than if you just take action today. Start doing something. Do something and learn while you're doing is a significantly stronger strategy than saying, well, I'm just going to listen to all of John and Ben's 200 and wherever we're up to, nearly 250 episodes or thereabouts, I think, of the Dropship Podcast before I start. You are not going to be better off from doing that. Yes, keep listening to the podcast, but start today. Ben just gave you 2 ways that you can get started for, you can learn something more. You can do something more, but actually take action. So go and do that. Do it now.
Thanks for listening to the Dropship Podcast. You can find all the show notes for this episode at dropshippodcast.com. And if you're ready to take the next step in your dropshipping journey, we invite you to join us inside Dropship Breakthru, where John and I will walk you through step by step in starting your own high-ticket dropshipping e-commerce business. But that's not all. Dropship Breakthru will also teach you everything you'll need to know to grow your business and take it to the next level. So head over to dropshipbreakthru.com and sign up for our free training that will help you take the first steps towards building and growing your own profitable high-ticket dropshipping business.